So now 2022 comes. So obviously this retrospective part is all about Hartnell cross country, so I'm not going to spend too much, but I do need to address one thing about track. So 2022 track and field was not my best season. There's a few reasons why. Let's just say it can be attributed to slight burnout, anger, and as it turned out, it just wasn't my time yet. 2022 was not a great season for me though. A lot of it just buckled down to I buckled a little bit under pressure, but also certain things got to me that I didn't foresee that caused complications, and then I had performance problems with racing. Okay, either way, it was not a great season for me. However, I finished. But I remember it was very pivotal note. We had two things then happen. Two top returners from 2021 that were supposed to run in 2022 ended up not returning. Okay? And that was a bit rough for the team. Okay? But I remember I was just like, oh, I had such a crappy season. I'm not going to be able to do anything. And I remember I was like, Josh, you got to be a part of 2 conference titles. You ran longer than you thought you would. You had a PR in the you had some baby PRs in track, and then you had a big cross season. Maybe you're done. Like, maybe don't bother the team. Like, maybe you should just focus on academics like a lot of people say you should. So I remember I was actually going to quit. I was just going to call up Z and say, hey, Zepeda, you have DP returning. You have Jose Velasquez returning. They did really good in track, and they're all conference, and in the case of Jose, all NorCal returners. You have Benoit and Ricky, and then he was getting this other new recruit, Moy, who I knew in high school, very quick guy, and you see a photo of us together with Carlos. And I was like, you'll be fine. You don't need me. The day I was going to send that, I get a text from him saying, Josh, as one of my top cross-country returners, I want you to set the following: 1,000 miles by state, double all conference, and be a part of a back-to-back conference and NorCal championship team and name for all NorCal. And I was like, oh, maybe that's a sign from God not to quit. Thank God I did it, because let me tell you what then happened. Was it a bit of a rough season? Yeah, kind of was. There's a few reasons why. One, I kind of got a little overwhelmed by the fact that the 2 top returners I was supposed to be, I kind of felt like I had some imposter syndrome. I then kind of just I had a lot of fatigue that season for some reason from my back. I think I didn't quite heal up from 2022's stagnation and just fatigue. But I still got in there and ran, and I was our pretty much 7th/6th guy all season. But I remember I just said, I'm going to stay the course. I'm going to run. And that's what I did. And, I act like, oh, there were some breakthroughs. I did not break through on the 21:41. Unfortunately, the fastest I went that season for just a 4-mile course was 22:09. Okay. But I still had some PRs. I had a lot of course PRs. And let's see, at Crystal Springs I went from 23:22 down to 23:01, I believe it was. So I went from about 5:36 pace down to 5:25 pace, I think it was. It was because the Crystal Springs course isn't 4 miles, it's 4.196, but I had some course PRs, so 23:22 down to 23:01. I want to say it was 5:25 is what that pace is. I can't quite remember, but it was something like that. And I think it was 5:29 pace actually, now that I think about it. Anyways, irrelevant. So I had a course PR there at the Chabot Twilight. Remember how I said I went 16:06 that whole season? That whole track and field season, I did not touch it for some reason. But then, at Chabot Twilight, I managed to break the 16-minute barrier. I went 15:55. And I was like, oh, I finally broke 16. It took me forever, but I finally got it. And that honestly felt good after having a whole track season where I couldn't even touch 16:06. I don't know what it was. I just couldn't touch it for some reason. Long story. Anyways, mental blocks are real, guys. Let's just leave it at that. Anyways, But yeah, broke 16, went from 1606 to 1555 in a whole year, guys. It took me a year to break 16. I won't lie, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I'm the greatest at the 5K. It took me a year to break 16. Okay, most people do in a season. It took me a year, I won't lie. And then what was another thing? I had one more course PR, I just can't remember it. But here, we were still a dominant powerhouse. So very similar to 2019, okay? We were still a powerhouse, okay? We won NorCal Preview. We won, what else did we win? Toro Park Invite again. We won that. We went down to Manny Bautista. We did not win that SoCal meet. I think we got like 6th or something. We won the Crystal Springs Invite where we ran the high school 2.95. That was such a rough day for me. But we won that meet. Is there any other invites? I think I got them all. But then we get the conference, which was at Crystal Springs, the 4.196. We ran that, and I remember how I said like we dominated. We managed to dominate that race too, and that was special to me. I remember our top 7 guys finished in the top 10. I was lucky spot number 10. I have the medal for it. 10th place finisher and 7th man for the team. I remember, like, even though it wasn't the 10 all conference we had previous season, we still dominated the conference race. And I will say this, one thing that felt good for me personally was that I was the guy who wrapped up the 7 spots. I was like, oh shoot, I just wrapped up our top guy squad with this 10th place finish and 7th all conference finish. Like, I'm wrapping up the team here, right? And I'm 7th man. That was a really special thing. So then we go back-to-back conference titles. So that was special. Then we go to NorCal, which was, oh my gosh, that day was crazy. It was raining, it was muddy. Just every man for himself that race, okay? Now that race was not based on time. That race was whoever had the most guts. And Bamon, he had the most guts and did great. And what did he do? He went out and won the race. And we managed to secure a 2nd NorCal title against ARC by 3 points. We didn't even know if we won when we crossed finish. We were like, oh shoot, did we even win? And we somehow won by 3 points. And it was really special getting that NorCal title that day. And one thing I will say that was really special for me personally about that NorCal meet, even though I wish I did race better personally, I took 25th place overall, 7th guy on the team. I did not have a course PR on that particular course, that Redwoods course. That's a rough course though. I actually thought I was going to slip with all the downhill in the mud. But then I'm getting so many. There's so many memories I could say from Hartnell cross country. Manny Bautista, we stayed at the Chula Vista Sports Center. That was, oh my gosh, all these memories are coming. I'm just talking about the team placements really, and then my time progression. But anyways, back to the NorCal meet. It was really special because I remember at King City, I had to be on the sideline for watching CCS 3 seasons in a row. And I had to watch all my teammates run state. And I was so proud of them, but I really wanted to run with them. But NorCal, that was my first time ever running a post cross country season race. And 2022 NorCal, that race will hold a really special place in my heart. That I gotta finally be finally gotta be in a race in a postseason for cross country, so past league/conference, and I gotta be a part of that winning title, even if I wasn't the fastest guy. Like, that was really, really special for me. So 2022 NorCal title is probably gonna go down as, I'm not gonna lie, there's a different title that goes down as number 1 title that I was glad to be a part of, but 2022 NorCal is easily number 2, I think, honestly. But 2022 NorCal will honestly be one of my favorite memories, just because I finally broke that curse of not being able to run a postseason race. And even though I didn't break my 21:41, and have as big and really break out like I was hoping, 2022 was special, and even though like I had some of the imposter syndrome, like I was so happy to be able to be a part of that. And something I always give us a pay to credit on. He made sure I was that he knew he made sure that I knew that he supported me and that I could be with him. I probably didn't quite fulfill all expectations, but he really did invest a lot in me to make sure that I ran with them, and I always do appreciate that. So shout out Z and Danny too. Actually worked with me a lot this season. DP and Jose encouraged me the whole way through. Jose even told me, he's like, Josh, if you weren't there, I wouldn't have ran there that season. If that's true, then that was really good I stayed on the team, because if we didn't have Jose, it would have been a very different season. But what's funny is I talked about that NorCal. Somehow after NorCal, okay, I said how I didn't break the 2141. I technically broke it in practice. I did a 4-mile time trial on the track before state. We did this great workout. We did a 4-mile track race, and we did 2-mile repeats. I remember I went 21:12, 4:56, and 4:57. Okay, I was in the great shape of my life, and then my hip felt terrible. Okay, and I could barely walk. It was terrible. And remember the week we ran state, I only ran 18 miles. Guys, I'm not gonna lie, this is a little embarrassing for me. All my teammates, 6-man, so Pemon, he did really good. We ended up taking 4th place at the state meet that season, and Pemon, he got All-American state runner-up, just like Isaac, against some Mount Sac guy, who, hilariously, both Mount Sac guys broke the JUCO 4-mile course record both times. I don't know, the similarity was kind of crazy. And then the similarity of 2022 to 2019. 2019, King City High School, we won a lot of meets. We had some key players missing that should have been there. We had others rise up. We didn't win all the meets, but we won a lot. But then we still won the league. We still won the conference. We still won the section. We still won the NorCal. But then in both times, we felt we were one place off from where we were last season at state. For 2018, it was fourth at state, and then 5th at state, 2018, 2019. In JUCO, it was 3rd place and then 4th place. We should have taken 3rd place that day, but we unfortunately not everyone had their best day, myself included. And I remember I was 7th man that day. Jesse was our 6th. He ran 21:33. I was 7th man, and I was usually only 20-30 seconds maybe behind Jesse, so I should have ran 21:50 or something, or probably broken my 21:41 that day. I ran 22:35, okay, and I ran injured. It was kind of embarrassing. All my teammates, though, something I always give them credit on, they all cheer and said, Josh, we're so proud of you, good stuff. And I was like, thanks guys, even though I felt like I didn't deserve it at all. But even though state did not go how I wanted, and for some reason I got stuck with the curse of 22:35 at Woodward Park, which I will talk about at Merced, but for some reason, injured or not, I got stuck with that curse. I don't know what's up with that. I it might be the worst mental block on the planet. I don't know what it is, but either way, I started a curse where no matter when, healthy or not, how in shape I was at Woodward Park 4-mile course, I would only run 22:35. I don't know what was up with that, but I then either way get over myself. At that day though, especially King City guys, they all said, Josh, we're so proud of you, good stuff, and you finally ran state. But it was special because after 6 years of running, from 2017. I'm sorry, I said 6. 5 years, because 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022. Never mind, I counted correctly. 6. I can't count anymore. I'm brain fried. Anyways, after 6 seasons of running. There, okay? 6 seasons of running. I finally ran state. I had to see state slip from us in 2017. I didn't get a run in 2018 because I was an alternate. 2019, I got injured. 2020, COVID took state away. 2021, I was not even alternate because we had such a stacked team. 2022, even though I didn't run nearly as good as I wanted, I finally ran state. So despite not succeeding and not despite not breaking out, that's really what I was trying to say. Despite not breaking out like I had hoped I would in 2022 with all the training I was doing, I managed to successfully run state after all those years. Be not just go from being a no all league guy to being a double all conference guy. I ran in a postseason race with state and also NorCal and got to contribute to a back-to-back NorCal title, and then I already said, but back-to-back conference title, and it was really special. I just find it crazy though the parallels between King State High School and Hartnell on that one, eh? But yeah, when I talk about 2022 cross country, I sometimes make it sound depressing. It really wasn't. I just wanted more out of it with what I was putting in because I felt like it should have been more, but I ran as best I could, and you know what? I still got a lot to show for it, and it's not just these medals, it's the memories and all that came with that, but I at least can say I contributed to some team wins, and I got to finally run state. And that will, you know what, that will probably be forever the key thing about 2022 cross country, that I finally ran state after all those years, and it was great. And yeah, so overall I'd say 2022 cross country was a pretty good season. So yeah, that's about the cross country section. So I'm just gonna do one last wrap up for one last part and then close out the video in this last part. So real quick, one last thing I want to say about 2022. This is the team gear that we got for winning it, and just saying, 2022 NorCal champs, 2022 Coast Conference champions. So even though we still got top 5 in state, to be 4th place in all of the state of JUCO, but did contribute to back-to-back NorCal, back-to-back conference. And this polo is still sick. I do prefer wearing the quarters in, but this polo is still sick. To kind of close out Hartnell Community College cross country, was it great? Heck yeah, it was. It wasn't. I mainly talked about the team wins, but you know, it was really special. Like, I can't emphasize how special it was getting to run with my former rivals. There was something really special about that. But then also getting to continue and foster my connection with the King City boys. Like, that will be really, really special to me. And you know, even though I didn't go fast in 21:41 as a freshman, I still ran faster for 4 miles than I ever did for 3 miles. I got to run the same courses I did in high school, but longer for Crystal Springs, Mount Sac, and Toro Park, 2 different versions. I finally got to run Woodward Park at state. And I had so much fun. And you know, there are so many people at Hartnell that I always am very happy that I got to meet. If I name them all, we're going to be here all day. So I think what I'm going to do is just say this. Hartnell cross country is one of the most special times in my life, and if you had to ask me what moment did I realize it was going to be special, it would have to be the 10-minute test back in 2021. I remember Zapaya told all the top guys, our goal is to make Riley sub 10, and after 3 years of not PRing on 2 mile, I went from 10:33 down to 9:59 for a time trial. That was when I knew it was going to be great at Hartnell. And even if 2022 didn't go quite the way I expected, it was really special. And here's one perk. 2022 did really make me realize I want to finish my cross-country career, since I had 2 seasons of eligibility left. That's a hint of why Merced ended up happening. I'll go more into that in the track, though. But no, it was special. So overall, I'm really thankful, and I'll never forget the memories playing Switch with David Parmley and Carlos, all the workouts side by side with Jose and DP, and then just all the talks. It was really, really special. You know, I was just learning to be an adult for the first time, really, honestly, at Hartnell, and I got to do it with a bunch of people my age. So was really special. And you know, those 2 cross country seasons were something really special. So, you know, just like King City High School cross country, I went a bit long, but you know, I think it's worth it. So overall, I would like to end this video by, let's see, just giving a little shout out. So Zepeda, so give a shout out to your coaches, Zepeda, Justin, Jorge, and even Adam. I talked a lot with Adam. Just thanks, guys, for everything. And then the alumni network was really strong. Arlene, Mesa, Oscar, and Diego. You guys did a lot to help out, so thank you. And you know, I'm really thankful for those 2 seasons of cross country. About that, last thing I want to say before closing out this video. Hartnell continued cross country, and I kind of got to have 2 mirrored cross country seasons of King City High School. Well, Hartnell is really where my love of track began, and then continues for my entire rest of my career. So with that, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for your time of watching it all. And otherwise, Hartnell Community College track and field is next. So see ya.